of yesteryear to try to recover some of that caliber. And BaiSha have obviously kicked this year off really nicely with that win at ACL. That's a gauntlet that gets thrown down for the rest of the teams in the world. And now they're here on an even bigger stage, ready to show us what they've got. And hopefully they'll be able to deliver a good game. But obviously on the other side of the coin, you know, Q9, this is a team that's been kind of like popping around. They have definitely been playing second fiddle in most instances, particularly internationally, to the likes of BaiSha and Q9 and AG and EP. They're not really up there with those names just yet. But Q9, I think, definitely can cause a bit of a ruckus in a series like this one. It is a domestic rivalry, so they will have a great degree of familiarity with BaiSha. So a lot to look forward to in this quarterfinal. It's Q9 and BaiSha taking one another on, and we will be starting off on the quintessential Black Widow.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting that we go to Black Widow too, because again, I think, you know, for a team like BaiSha, you know, domestically, like not the best record on it, like a bit of a 3-2, you know, perspective. They have been able to beat teams like EP, you know, they've been able to beat a team like All Gamers, but look, I mean, you know, maybe Q9 have been able to have a bit more of a game plan on this, in the sense that they're feeling pretty good about it. A map that they, you know, have been able to also find themselves, you know, good wins over a top team like AG, but we'll find out here at the international stage when the pressure is the highest it can be. But you know, I think one of the players to easily speak about is XMY. Like, he was 100%. One of those guys that he just had himself a great first day, and even that second day, just creating a lot of space.
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. He was actually the player that picked up the opening kill in this game, and he'll be a really pivotal factor when you look on the other side of the field and you see a player like Shao, who, to my mind, has probably been, I think, the most enjoyable sniper to watch in the history of CROSSFIRE. I really enjoy watching Shao. I think he's super fun, fantastic player, very, very sharp. When he gets the aim rolling, then he's pretty unstoppable. BaiSha be hoping for a big game from him today, but it doesn't look like it's super necessary in this opening round, as the Riflers are getting the job done. 9 was able to trade down the opening pick, and YDSS has found the entry frag into B, which has allowed that plan to go down, and it's a 4-on-3. This will make for a tough retake for Q9. Koi kind of just sending it out the window on his own, and that timing doesn't really look fantastic for Q9 at all. This will be a pretty comfortable round in the end for BaiSha.
It really will, and I mean, you know, I think it was a good thing we have to bring up too, is the fact that, you know, like you said a little bit before this game started, is the fact that last year BaiSha just felt like it was, I feel like it was probably one of the weakest teams in the Chinese region. Like, they just weren't really showing the results that they should have. This year, we saw that they were able to win CFPL. We saw they were able to win, you know, ACL. It really felt like they were just kind of taking a lot of victories and getting a new landscape here for the organization, which was really exciting. But, you know, again, now the fact they've had to go through a bit of a lower bracket in some sense to get to this place, very, very interesting. But it's got to be arguably the team to beat at this tournament. Like, I feel like they were the #1 seed, like, without a doubt, in my opinion.
They're going to have to prove that. Round number 2, a little bit of a slower affair than what we saw in round 1, where both teams kind of out the gates very quickly, very strong, trying to set the tempo for the game. Xiao's waiting for an aggressive push out from Q9. It seems like BaiSha have a read on this push out of B.
Ooh, double player stack too, so.
There's the third player there as well, actually hanging around in the box room, but 577 is going to make short work of that stack. That is just a mess for Q9. There's really nothing that XJ can do to salvage that situation. Now it's on to Koi to try to save the day. He's out of there. Like, it's just not looking good for Q9 at the moment. This has been a pretty awkward start to the map, and already a timeout getting called. Coach of Q9, I'm sure, recognizing the same things that we are, Laz. This is not looking like a on-the-ball Q9 at the moment.
No, it definitely isn't. This is where, again, Q9, like, for anybody that's not aware, like, again, they were able to get the 2-0 over Rock for the opening day. And those were a bit of a, you know, in my opinion, a bit of struggling scorelines. Like, it was a 10-7 and then a 13-9. So not the easiest affair for them, but then, you know, going against Team Liquid, a little bit better in the sense that it was like a 10-7, 10-6. They were able to knock Liquid out. A lot of stake for Liquid in that point. So kind of a bit of a up and down, you know, kind of a bit of a tipsy little bit of an affair here for Q9. But that's where, you know, the desk made a good point of saying, like, yeah, again, a top team in the region in China, but still a few questions, a relatively youngish team, you know, kind of still figuring things out. I think they've been only together, if I'm not mistaken, about a year under this banner. So a lot of still questions for me internationally anyways.
Well, it's indeed confirmed that this is a Q9 timeout. That's really, really early on in the piece to be calling one. I think you can definitely feel that they're a little bit unsettled in this matchup at the moment. But this particularly from 577 was just like way too easy. You know, you got both those players on the high-low setup. We highlighted that, I think, maybe yesterday or the day before. If you're going to run that particular setup, you definitely need to be getting at least one kill. Like, you can't be investing those two players that far forward and not getting anything. They both die. And then the third guy through there in box room's like, well, like, what am I supposed to do about this?
Exactly, I love that you bring that up, you know, Elfish, because again, like even the way they approached that attack too for the double players that were committed to the box, again, they did such a great job just having, you know, the low and then the high ground as well, like just being able to clear that out. But like you said, if you're playing that position and that aggression on the GR side, you at minimum need the one kill. But that's the thing that's really interesting about this matchup is that, again, two teams in the same league that play each other, and like again, they're going to know all the different dynamics of what they can do. So that's where again they have to make these like little adjustments and, you know, kind of keeping an ace up the sleeve, so to speak. So knowing how they play, and they probably pug and, you know, scrim and 10-man do whatever all together. So that's where you get to know a lot of the particular individual like characteristics of all these players, and that's where these guys have to kind of throw these little bit of element of surprises.
I feel like Q9 is trying to throw a little bit in here and there, you know, like that was a pretty aggressive move out of B. It's something that definitely has its place in the strat book on the GR side, but the timing of it was off, and the execution of it too. And giving BaiSha all that mid control and then allowing them to kind of just waltz and clean it out. So something not quite working at the moment for Q9. Hopefully that tack timeout is going to clear things up as we move into round number 3, 9 on the boost. Not seeing anything over the top of that smoke. And, different approach this time from BaiSha with quite a bit of presence set up at long.
Yeah, really slow approach in Q9, allowing that space, and N9 does have himself that really nice boost. So again, if somebody would have been kind of peeking through connector, he would have been able to find that kill pretty quickly, but BaiSha taking a lot of time and waiting things out a lot, expecting that Q9 might try to, again, do something maybe a more aggressive here on the GR side, but not going to be the case at all. They're actually just playing the 3-2 setup, leaving mid pretty much open. Like Koi's kind of playing that little bit of a hybrid role. You have YU that's kind of sitting underneath, kind of spotting it. So it's a very passive setup in the middle. Whereas normally you'd like to see, it normally is a 2-1-2 typically on the GR side, but yeah, mixed it up. BaiSha now deciding, okay, this is going to be the plan of attack. We are going to take this long A control. A 4-1 split now here for the cards.
Yeah, this is going to be an all-out brawl. 3 players to try to hold the A site. Make it 2, make it 0. Oh my god. BaiSha have just deleted them. That was not even close.
No, that was just a mow down. It really was. And now Koi does get himself a little bit of a consolation prize, but again, a lot of work required for him with the sniper. He's going to have to put this TRG into full effect somehow, and YJ needs to join with him. He's fully in the open here. Good teamwork here from BaiSha. Now just leaving it to one player. He's been able to slip onto the stairway. Can he find the timing? Does get that one, but now YDSS right behind green truck, swings with it, a big spray, and thankfully has lots of bullets in the chamber, and they will get it done.
This is looking too easy at the moment for BaiSha, man. It's really not looking like a contest. YDSS 6-0. And the ease at which BaiSha is able to crack open that A site is of massive concern for Q9. BaiSha, they look like they want to do it again. I think, well, that was a bit easy. We'll give it another crack and see. It's a bit more of a forward hold this time around from Q9, but BaiSha not having too many problems with that so far. 1 for 1. YDSS will cop his first death of the game. But barracks control essentially taken by BaiSha.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we typically see, like, you know, when you're in the GR side, if you're going to commit to that long A fight, like, you always want to have the player that's going to play in hut there. You just want that player to be able to, again, get that information. You just can play that spot. Then that way the defense can kind of put way more of a presence into middle and B. But they kind of take it in a half approach, right? There's a little bit of a trade-off, you know, for both these teams, but nonetheless, it doesn't really matter for this circumstance because now BaiSha, they're going to get ready for the B-pop one more time. Full nades. It's just raining. And look at that. YJ has nothing to work with. He was blind. He had nothing. No sights at all.
He is going to be able to get that bomb plant down as well. There's a flank from you, but I don't think it's going to be super impactful. BaiSha more than happy with the setup that they've got. Great control on the side and outside of B as well. Xiao waiting for this very push. Just wants to check mid, but almost caught on the timing. He does have 9 here as well. It's a 2-player setup, so he can just give space and allow 9 to take this fight with the rifle. And it's just absolutely nothing at the moment being delivered by Q9. This is really not a contest. And if this continues, Q9 is going to be going out of this tournament with a real whimper.
Yeah, this is really not the same Q9 that we saw originally, right? This, like, it just seems like, again, a bit disoriented. It feels like they're not making the right decisions. They're going for some really awkward fights, and they just don't seem to have the idea of what they want to do. So BaiSha, honestly, the fact that we're at a 4-0 pretty quickly in this first map, not bad at all. And they find themselves another opener, and even 5-7-7 once again, putting himself in the entry position. Like, the fact that Zhao is sitting at a 0-0 Elfish, like, that is madness. Like, we're 4 rounds deep, he hasn't taken a death, he hasn't taken a kill, like, that's not normal.
Yeah, for the most part, hasn't really had to do anything, right? Like, it is the riflers that are playing, I guess, a bit more forward, and Zhao's kind of playing a little bit more of a supportive style, you know, holding angles or holding flanks, or, you know, throwing a bit of util. He's not really had to be in the entry pack or anything like that, and because the entries have gone so cleanly, it hasn't come down to those clutch scenarios, which is normally what Xiao is set up for. I mean, again, you can see him right at the back of the pack here. Rifle's going to go first into box room, and Xiao's just here to watch the flank. He's just here to chill and make sure that no one from Q9 can get around the back. And again, had a chance, but the kill's stolen away by YDSS. So, like, what are you going to do? Perfect game from Xiao so far.
Yeah, it really is.
The best kind, you know, you get in the backpack.
And I'm really impressed with just YDSS. Like, again, like, you know, we talked a lot about him here throughout the entire tournament, but I just feel like him with this M14, like, it just feels like it's the perfect fit, right? Like, we talk about Cinderella and getting that shoe on. It's the exact same thing here. Like, he's just, it feels like it's just full amount of abilities where he's able to play his game to the perfect perfection. And this is, again, like, sitting good score lines. YU making things a little more interesting here, but time is not looking good here. He has to go for the defuse. He has no time. He does get to know the kill, though, but that's going to be it. BaiSha's just going to be able to have this. Zhao just now showing off, gets his first kill. Why not?
Kill. A little bit of a wry smile out from him.
Yeah.
It was the most irrelevant kill of the game as well.
It really was. He had to barely break a sweat at all. He
could have literally not got it. Just for the gag.
Yeah, he could have just done nothing. Just to go 0-0, why not? Just jump around.
See how long you can maintain it. But yeah, easy one for him. Solid round for BaiSha again. Obviously, a little bit of a moment there for you, right? Where it started to get a bit interesting, but like 5-0, like, is there any reason to get excited about this so far? Not really. Q9, with their pick of Black Widow just blowing up in their face right now. This is, yeah.
Like I said, like, when we looked at the veto, I really was questioning this. Like, I just didn't really understand, like, why did Q9 think that this was, in my opinion, the best pick? Like, even, you know, in their league, you know, a 6-4 record, honestly, like, I don't mean any offense, but it's just not the best record. I mean, 7-4 for BaiSha, so, like, it's, again, pretty comparable, but BaiSha, just from what we know, like, they have been able to play some very good teams on this map. They've been able to get some very good victories on it. So for me, I really do beg the question of why. But like, you could see that they went for the ban of Ankara instantly. So I thought that was a good idea. I don't mind that at all. But I just, again, it kind of makes me wonder, like, I don't know if that was the right decision here. Evidently not, considering the scoreline.
Well, it's too late to take it back. 5-7-7's found himself another double entry. This is crazy. It's like there's only one team in the server at the moment, and their name is BaiSha.
Yeah, Q9 just does not seem to have any coordination at all together for getting these retakes or just holding a site. Like, the fact that BaiSha is able to just barrel on in, go for a nice stroll, do what they want. This is difficult. I never would have expected a scoreline like this. Like, we're about to hit this 6-0, and now BaiSha again putting themselves in prime position here for regardless of what happens for the remainder of this first half, which is only going to be a few more rounds. I mean, they'll be able to switch on to the GR side, which is even more terrifying to think about because again, a team I feel like both their BL and GR are just so strong, but Q9 have just made this so difficult for themselves.
Yeah, you would say there's no coming back from this. I think to an extent you probably could still fight back from a 6-0 deficit, but it's going to have to be near perfection from Q9. And more importantly, I think you're going to have to try to find a way to like rebuild a bit of momentum, try and find some kind of confidence, anything that's going to get you going. Because if it continues in this capacity, in this fashion, then it's not even going to be close. And again, another opening round, or another opening in the round for BaiSha. Another couple of them, in fact. I don't know what you do here as Q9. Like, you've already used your tack timeout. I suppose you have to hope that maybe a half swap will make a difference, but realistically speaking, it's not going to matter if you don't have anything to play with. Like, you need to get at least, like, 2 or 3 rounds here. And
yeah.
It's not looking like they're getting any.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, we're putting a lot of emphasis here for Q9, but I still don't want to take this away from BaiSha because, again, I didn't get your opinion on this. I got a little bit nervous when I made the comment about I think they're the #1 team in the entire league, or this entire tournament. But I mean, in this circumstance, like it's a great thing to see what BaiSha's doing right now. Like sitting in the 6-0, winning these fights so easily. Like even this round here, like a 5-on-3. Literally everybody has full HP. Now they finally just lose a player, but it takes to a minute and 20. Koya is finally getting himself something, a little bit more emotion. He gets himself a triple kill, but okay, is that going to be enough here? Is that allowing them to, again, a star performance to get themselves their first round? I don't know.
Well, considering BaiSha still have got that territory in the sight, it is actually a favorable round for BaiSha at the moment. The only question remaining is, can Xiao actually do anything? Well, apparently he can. He's 3-0 now, and as soon as you're like, yeah, maybe there's a chance for Q9, like instantly that round's taken away. And in the end, again, it's like not even really that close, is it?
Exactly. Like we get these like very small little bit of openings where we go, okay, hang on. Like we saw it was YU before. I think he was the one that got the quad kill. Things were getting a little bit interesting. Then this, following round, we get to see that Koi was the one that was kind of running around. And again, the desk was, highlighting a lot about his stats so far here at EWC. So we get that little bit of a glimpse of what he could bring to the server and what he could do in this. But like the fact that we're talking about XJ and YJ sitting at a 1-7, like these guys have just not been able to find anything at all. It just feels like, dead man walking here. A 7-0, like again, I haven't really seen it. We got to see El Casilla getting that 10-0 at one point, but I don't know. I feel like we're going down that similar path here.
I don't think there's really much to be said. How was he allowed to walk out that far? Like, it's such a wide swing. It's just like,
he's speechless.
Q9, I mean, they're not allowed off the stage after this, mate. They've got to be sitting in the DMs or hitting the aim prac or something, because like it's not even as if the setups are bad for Q9. It's like they're literally just not shooting straight, right? Like 577 should not be allowed to get that far out into the box room without dying.
Exactly.
And it's not the first time that he's done that. Like if it's one time, it's kind of like, oh, okay, you know what, that's fine. But like he's jumping out window in B, he's running out into the box room. There's 2 players there trying to hold it, and they both don't kill him. It's like, what is going on here?
Every single gunfight they go into, it just feels like BaiSha just wins it tenfold, right? I mean, this is the same thing. Like they lose one player, but
they're not even 50-50 gunfight. Like BaiSha's winning the fights that they're supposed to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Like the fact that you're having a player just kind of run around, getting a convincing entry like that, where Q9's not really able to get anything. It's just a lot of devastation here. It's diabolical, really, that BaiSha put themselves in. Like, what is this, 8-0 now? I'm already starting to lose count, but again, star performance from the best team in China, and it's kind of what you expect, but I was thinking Q9 was going to be able to put up some kind of a fight.
Yeah.
Feels like a whole other weight class.
I mean, me too. I was expecting something a bit more than this, but now I guess we're getting into that territory where a 10-0 is a potential on offer here for BaiSha, which at the very least Q9 just want to avoid that. Like if you can avoid the 10-0, then you can avoid the embarrassment of that. Go into Subbase and hopefully refocus. But if you get 10-0, you've just been absolutely rocked, and it's just not even been close. And there's just nothing to take away from the game at that point. So I don't know. This is pretty grim for Q9. I did not expect this in a quarterfinal at all.
Yeah, BaiSha just taking no prisoners at all at this point, right? I mean, the fact that, again, an 8-0, like even if they lose this last round in the first half, who cares? Like, I mean, they still have themselves a huge leap. Feels a bit unnatural in this sense, and now we get to see Q9 a little bit of a double stack. Maybe YU, no. Okay, he gets himself that 1, but thankfully XJ is there to kind of get that assist. Lie down to 1 HP.
Ooh, here we go.
Here we go. Now things are more of a conversation. There we go. Nicely done from Koi. They get themselves the last round of the first half. First half here, Elfish.
Yeah, but you notice how there's like literally no excitement. No.
Well, you can't. Like when you're getting beat like this, like you have to get yourself picked up. You have to get excited, but at the same time, like I don't blame them because this is not the way they should be playing. They know that.
You do not deserve excitement yet.
Exactly. You kind of have to. You can't just go full board and getting excited. You have to kind of figure out a way to pick up the team, but maybe a kickstart. Koi now still kind of continuing on, but BaiSha fighting for long control, and they'll do it. Lai's going to be able to get himself in prime seating here. A front row seat in Hut. So they won the real estate game a little bit here. And now N9. Oh my goodness, how does he get away with this? Oh man, he just pushes by himself. He's like, you know what, who cares? We're doing so well, I'm just going to keep going.
You looking for a kill onto Xiao, and he's going to get it. All of a sudden, Q9 maybe starting to make a couple of inroads here onto BaiSha, just to try and salvage some pride. Leah, he's going to go down to Koi. That's a nice shot, important shot, obviously, considering Koi was low. 2 on the board now for Q9, and they start to salvage some pride out of this map.
Yeah,
it's a long way to go.
I just kind of wonder if BaiSha are now just going to do this thing where they they're like kind of leaning back, lounging a little bit.
We're not going to show our setups.
Now they're going to lean forward and go, you know what? Enough is enough. We're not letting you get any more rounds. Maybe they're just trying to save them a little bit, not to get 10-0 here or something. I don't know. But now Zhao's able to get himself finally 4-2, which is just insane. Because again, we were putting a lot of emphasis about him too. Like a player that, again, you put a lot of star power on him.
That'll come. It'll come. Don't worry about that. We'll be able to see the best of Xiao later on.
Well, and you have players like YDSS just running around and winning every single fight in the rifle. You don't even need your sniper.
No. YDSS got his spider sense tingling. He's under a bit of pressure, but has lost his teammate of 9 there to help him out. There's no one else there, and he's gone as well. All of a sudden, Q9 starting to look like they're coming alive on this blacklist side. 577 will also drop. Leah unable to hit himself a shot. A lot of damage that's been done, but you still need those kills. That's a nice one. Rotation coming across from Xiao. It's the 2-pronged defense with the sniper rifle. Xiao through the smoke. That's dangerous, but it works. Back to a 2-on-2, and Q9 maybe shaking in their boots a little bit now. Quick flank coming through from Leah as well. He's got that USP in hand. We've seen the danger that weapon can present.
I mean, they could be able to pick up this rifle too if he wants, because that is stuck in water, but no, it's going to keep the...
Next Jay.
Oh, what? He misses it? Oh, okay. Now Zhao's got 2 HP in a dream here, but...
Yeah. Zhao was really hoping that he wasn't really going to have to get involved here, or maybe he was, but just in a 2v1. This, though, very, very difficult. It's not going to go his way, and that's a third for Q9. The wind has gone out of the sails of BaiSha, and maybe the winds have changed in effect here for Q9 as well.
Well, and the thing is, I never even wanted to bring it up with this kind of a game, but that's where I was saying, when you get in these leads and you're getting close to map points, it's you don't want to let your foot off the gas, right? I mean, we really emphasize that a lot with a team like Rock, where they've done that, or even on the previous series we had here today, where we said Stallions, a less experienced international team, where we were okay, let's just make sure that composure's there. But I mean, that conversation, I feel like that could be a little bit of a talking point here for BaiSha, just because, again, let's not forget, it was an 8-1. Now there's been 2 rounds in a row here for Q9. Feels like they've been playing so much better now. It's an entirely different team that we're seeing, so a bit of a facelift, but BaiSha gotta make sure they kind of get themselves back into driving form.
Yeah, I think all it takes is 1 round here, though. BaiSha, if they find the straw that breaks the camel's back, then this map's over.
Mm-hmm.
They've been close in a couple of instances on this GR side. Now it's 577's turn to have a bit of a crack. He will get a pivot from Leah. The push comes to shove, but 577, 2 gnarly headshots. And that might be the beginning of the end for Q9.
Oh man, he's just toying with him too. He's just bait. You can just see he's just doing the shots like that. That was on purpose. That was just for the player to go, okay, it's just him. I'm going to go for a swing. I'm going to win this fight. And then he's able to have his teammate really just keep him alive. But, okay, look, I talked about them falling a little bit asleep and kind of taking their time and maybe not looking as great, but no, they get right back on the map point, back to business as usual. So now, lots of opportunity here to close this game out. 6 rounds needed for overtime. Dun, dun, dun.
That's a long way to go.
It's a lot of numbers.
That's an aggressive move from BaiSha, and it doesn't look like Q9 are ready for it. Koi just kind of caught napping on his own. It's a forward smoke from them as well, so no trade available for you.
Oh, no.
XJ up here in middle as well. Doesn't actually go down to YDSS, but there's a couple more sharks circling in the water. BaiSha hunting for this victory. And Leah might have been able to present it to them if he had hit that shot. Won't this time. And we'll back off. Xiao spotting info and gets himself a couple of shots through there. The USP just insane again from Xiao. C4 dropped. Q9 down to just 1, and it is XJ, and he is gone. 10-3. Map number 1 will go the way of BaiSha, and that is an incredibly comfortable victory.
Yeah, that's the nicest way of saying it. I mean, that was very comfortable. And again, let's not forget, that was the pick for Q9. They were the ones that thought they could be able to do something here, a bit of an upset. A little bit of a gamble on the veto system like I talked about, but really it was just BaiSha showing us BaiSha things. Like, this is why, again, the team that has been doing so well in 2025, they've been able to win countless leagues, they've been able to put themselves in the ACL. Now we get to get this really good front row of a bit of a showcase of why they are the #1 team in China. And Q9, man, it just feels like they were late to the party, and now they're going to have to go into Subbase as kind of a way to stay alive in this series. Otherwise, they're done.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Q9, it's not their map pick, so back's really against the wall at the moment. I mean, BaiSha, it's a scary looking BaiSha, you know. I think they're a team that have, as we've said, kind of come out into 2025 and expected to win. They're expecting to be top dogs. They were able to win ACL. That was against some pretty strong competition, obviously, in that grand final. But the big, I guess, big conversations are going to be at the events like EWC and CFS, and that's what their focus is going to be on. And it's been a pretty decent run so far from them. Yes, you get knocked down into Seed 2. That's by Evolution Power. I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that for BaiSha, but they're on their climb back up toward victory and now hunting for a Map 2 win as we head into Subbase.
Everyone knows life's better with love than being alone. Consider yourself the motive for finding a way to right my wrongs. Catch a locomotive or hit the highway, just move on. Cause it's so fun when no one's upset. You sit on my trunk and watch the sunset. Consider yourself the motive, living my life the way I want. creating memories. And we drive our parents crazy. We're chasing sunsets, living each day like the last day of our lives. And I know this is what we want, 'cause this is just what we do. Free to tell our lies while discovering our truth. I forget that I'm down with you guys around, 'cause everyone knows life's better with love than being alone. Consider yourself a motive for finding a way to right my wrongs. Catch a locomotive or hit the highway, just move on, 'cause it's so fun and no one's upset. We sit on my trunk and watch the sunset. Consider yourself a motive, living my life the way I want. Consider yourself the motive for finding a way to right my wrongs. Catch a locomotive or hit the highway, just move on, 'cause it's so fun and no one's upset. We sit on my trunk and watch the sunset. Consider yourself the motive, living my life the way I want.
Well, it hasn't exactly been a long break, but it's about as good as you can hope for as Q9, because they had some serious talking to do. So a mental reset between map 1 and 2, incredibly important here for Q9.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Elfish. I mean, that's the thing, is now we're going into the map pick for BaiSha. It's Subbase. I mean, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, this is a map where BaiSha, a 14-6 record, a 70% win rate. They have been able to beat again, the best teams in China. Like, they have been able to get themselves, you know, many different victories on this. But that's where for Q9, the result we saw for a map like that, I'm not even confident at all. Like, I feel like this could be even worse of a stomp than what we saw in the original.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I guess the thing for Q9 is at least you're going to have to say, well, we've seen what BaiSha can do on Subbase. We know how they like to play. We've been able to go over the footage, and we've prepared as best as we can to try to make this one happen. Let's see, though, whether or not there is going to be anything left in the tank here for Q9 after getting absolutely destroyed on map 1. It was a 10-3 victory to BaiSha. Now we move into BaiSha's map pick as they look to try to lock themselves into those semi-finals with Stallions.
Yeah, let's not forget, too, like, now that BaiSha's up on map, if they find themselves the successors in this, they will, like you said, playing Stallions in that first official semi-final matchup later on, but we'll get ahead of ourselves.
Double sniper setup again for BaiSha. Yep, happy to take that TRG into round 1 here on Subbase. Double vent setup as well for BaiSha, so
I like it.
some reasonably unorthodox stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, typically on the defense, though, like on the GR, we do normally see a lot of double sniper setups, but, you know, I was kind of wondering if he would just kind of, you know, Lee would just kind of equip the rifle instead, but on this one, he's like, you know what, I'm going to play in vents, I'm just going to play the easy angle, get the easy kill if they decide to Mission Impossible this that way. Oh, they're not doing it, though. Smoke's getting ready to be thrown here, so this could possibly be a fast A-take, though. Good utility getting thrown now.
Well, ever reliable 577 here to wait and greet, and back away. He's actually done a pretty good job of just getting back to the missile and surviving for now. Waiting for the rotation to come through. 577 holds on for one, but it's the rotation that makes the difference. And look, again, it doesn't look all that fantastic from 577, but the pure fact that he survives prevents Q9 from flooding out onto that site and ultimately results in an easy win.
100%. No, I mean, that's the thing, is the fact that he was able to throw that flash, reposition. You could even see when Q9 was jumping into this, they were still clearing the right-hand side. Like, they didn't know exactly where he was. Like, the fact that he was able to kind of Houdini himself out of that position and just go into a new spot. Q9 was guessing. They had no idea. So that was phenomenal mechanics from BaiSha, just to, again, ensuring that he can wait for his teammates, and they were easily able to just squash that execution.
Yeah, good sign. Good early start for BaiSha. Doesn't seem like we're going to be changing too much from map 1 to map 2. This may be resulting in a pretty disappointing day for Q9. You can see how hesitant they are to try and take map control here. Just sort of milling around outside the double doors. Trying to hope that X and Y can hit anything, but really any opportunities being presented by BaiSha thus far.
Again, for Q9, a team that, you know, put themselves in 3rd place here for the CFPL in season 26, and then really it's just been 5th to 8th placements at, you know, last year's CFS. They're trying to make themselves a little bit better of a standing, but not looking like the case yet. But thankfully, they get themselves a nice opener, and 577, someone that's been very hot so far here in this series, he's gone removed.
It's going to prompt a bit more of a rotation out from Leo as well as he goes back up the stairs. He's kind of almost playing retake on the A site. BaiSha with a bit of a good read though. They've got the player stack towards B, or they've rotated their way off just at the wrong time. 9 will try to hang on to some positioning here in jail. YDSS set up to try and push his way through as well, but that one pick that Q9 got has thrown BaiSha in a bit of a loop, and they've over-rotated and they've been punished for it. Q9 equalizing at 1 apiece, and it looks like they're going to be a bit more of a contest here on Subbase.
And again, all thanks to Koi. Like, he was the one, again, that made the play. Yeah, he was the one that just went in, got himself these big kills. I mean, the last year were pretty much easy. They're just kind of retreating on this, but he was able to get the opening. So, not bad at all. Created a lot of space, a lot of distraction, allowing his team to get themselves in the proper positions for the plan of attack. And now, Leah's going to get spotted, but, you know, it doesn't matter. He bests it, but it's a one and done. So now, Q9, they have hit the gas. They have decided they want to just go fast, and they don't want to take it slow. And now, and 9 going to be able to find something of a little bit of a trade, but this is starting to look like some gaps here in the defense. This is when things are not looking the greatest here for BaiSha, all things considered.
It's not the easiest of maps to defend on, so we can't expect perfection necessarily. Let's see what 9 and Xiao can do though, the 2 stars of this BaiSha roster. Trying to make a retake happen. Doesn't look like it's going to. Xiao though, has a bit of a crack, and he's found himself the double, but not prepared for the flank from Yu. Now Q9 holding on to the lead for map 2.
Yeah, and I really like that they did try to go aggressive on this. Like, Leo was able to get that, you know, kind of first opening duel with the sniper, but I love that they just kind of, again, they just try to full send it. They don't want to really wait too long on this. They decide, you know, okay, look, like, we got to play differently than what we did originally. We got bested on our map pick. Now we have to do something where BaiSha cannot play their game. And like you said, we can't expect perfection here from BaiSha, but again, it is easy to put them on a bit of a pedestal just because really they've been just slaughtering all the competition they've been playing.
We haven't really seen too much funny business out of BaiSha just yet on this GR side. I think if the standard holds stop working, then we'll see a little bit more proactivity from them. Get the nade through, but he's really under pressure here. He needs some assistance. Pre-firing his way around the corner. YJ's already made it across to the side, but should have probably gone down there. Either way, rotation comes through from 9, and there's a reason he's considered one of the best riflers in the game. Gets himself a nice 2-piece. Still not enough to hold on to the side. The nade stack is in. Q9 are playing around that.
Yeah, they're not even going to go for the plant either. It's actually dropped. Oh man, a YDSS. Oh, YDSS, okay. Now finds himself the double, XMY by himself. Still has to get the plant, still needs to get some kills, and why not? YDSS back to the fragging form that we saw on map number 1. Now he gets a little bit more here in the second. I really did enjoy what Q9 did for that. Again, despite the beginning, they were able to get that duel. They were putting themselves in a position. They kind of hesitated a little bit on the plant, but I think they were expecting BaiSha to be hot in the heels or right behind them for the flank. But now BaiSha do get themselves the opener this time around. It's actually been BaiSha that have been losing these opening fights.
Yeah, for the most part. 5-7-7. Bit of a wayward spray in the end. Actually can't quite drop his opponent. YJ goes low in his fight. He does win it. YDSS only going to be good for the 1-for-1. So this again comes down to a pretty awkward retake attempt for BaiSha. They're losing players here and there, though. They are maintaining the lead. Yeah. Not a clean kill onto you. Plant's not gone down yet either. C4's out in no man's land. So just a lot of very messy rounds out here between Q9 and BaiSha, and Q9 just continuing to fight for this jailed position. Will ultimately go down and concede the deficit again. A very back and forth map so far, a bit brawlier than what we saw on Black Widow. But 8-3 for 9, and if he's going to continue to step up, then it's going to be a really tough day at the office for Q9.
Yeah, but we're definitely seeing a little bit of the weaknesses, right? Like we said, like it's more of the BL side of map in some fashion, but I feel like BaiSha are kind of showing a little bit of weaknesses on this. They're some of the kinks in the armor, if you will, right? So that's where I think Q9 are doing a good job, like making this still a very, very close competitive game. Like I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about this, just considering they got absolutely beat down on the first, but they've really been able to find some good exploits for this time around. But BaiSha, again, this is now where I just wonder if now they're getting themselves a little bit more ramped up and getting themselves right back into winning ways.
I have had that same thought myself.
Dang. We're on the same page. Who would have thought? Usually you're way faster on the pages than me.
Nothing fast about this one from Q9. YJ and you both playing anti-flash, trying to protect XMY if a push does come through from the wood doors. Very unlikely. Smoked off by BaiSha. Q9 are really hoping for a pick here. BaiSha are not giving them anything at all. Soon push is going to have to come to shove though. 1 minute left on the clock for the round. Q9 are going to have to do something other than sit default and hope that BaiSha is going to push into them. The onus is on Q9 to make something happen here.
Yeah, they got to do something. They got to get moving. They can't just sit around like this, right? I mean, they're kind of playing this game where, oh, okay, BaiSha's going to swing into us. No, you're playing the wrong side here. And now Xiao's going to be able to spot this. Doesn't land any damage, but at least he can get the warning shot off. And oh, he's going to commit to it, but at least he can get this one kill. YDSS, though, close into the fight. Drops the bomb as well. Now he can communicate this. Still going for a fight. He tries to go for the fight in tower, but there's still players beneath him. And now we're right back to an equal situation.
It's going to be a fast flank, though, and there's 15 seconds left on the clock, so XMY is going to have to try and plant that C4. Leo will try to catch up with him as he does. USB shots ringing through, but XMY connects, and so does XJ. Q9 will win the round.
I don't know how I feel about that round, Elfish. Like, I mean, again, it's just, I don't want to say the word sloppy, but it just, again, this just feels a mixed bag of what both these teams are doing. Like, we see, you know, Q9 just sitting forever. They're not really doing a whole lot. Then BaiSha doesn't really react to it as fast as you think they should be. But then there's just a lot of these weird encounters, or awkward encounters, I should be saying, in the late round. Like, I still can't believe that was YDSS that went for a re-swing onto tower when it was smoked out, like when he had a teammate that was up there. So
it's just in the chaos. You get caught in the moment.
Yeah, I guess so. We're all human at the end of the day. Mistakes will be made.
Yep. Well, XJ hoping to clear out the vents. Will be able to do so.
Oh, that didn't even land. A little surprising.
Gone a bit too deep. Approach toward the B side. This time for Q9, not something that we've really seen. Typically it's been A or second mid. Looking to clear out lockers. That's going to have them running into Xiao once again, who's been pretty solid on this map so far. At least in terms of getting the opening pick. There it is again. And he's screeching, he's screaming. He knows there's players coming from multiple angles. He's trying to turn around and help back in toward Jail. Maybe needed to focus a little bit more onto Locker. The two-pronged offense has worked out for Q9.
Now we are here for the 1-on-3, and again, not a lot to expect on this one. Smoked out here at a Lockers. You're kind of going right through the bit of fire and flames on this one, and you're kind of going into a bit of a death trap potentially, but there we go. X and Y will be able to find it. So now Q9 have put themselves in a lead, but yeah, we're definitely noticing, again, some of the, really good positioning here from Q9, and I think the fact that they're just kind of taking their time, I was a little bit questionable about it, but it really is seeming to very much work in their favor. And BaiSha still on a bit of a guessing game of what they want to do for it, but I believe they only kept the, I think they double snipered again. Oh no, they kept the one, so they did mix this up again. Ooh-wee! Xiao able to get a nice little.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a really tight line.
They needed it.
Good opening kill for Xiao. Remember, it is difficult to get these rounds on the GR side of Subbase, so every round in this half for BaiSha is like gold. They've already got 3. That's kind of okay. That's getting to the par score.
Yeah.
Get another one. That'll continue to keep the pressure mounting on the shoulders of Q9. A little bit of a fake going down on A with a flash out there from YJ, but it's not really selling anything. Just keeping those A players honest. Trouble is, if you're going to keep trying to challenge Xiao, you're going to keep getting picked apart. This round has just swung in the favor of BaiSha, courtesy of Xiao's sniping ability. Ooh, hang on.
This is interesting. They're getting this double kill. A little bit weird. Double player set in B, so now they're kind of grouped up together. That bomb is still really not made the proper rotation on this. But again, a minute left, but I don't love how spread apart they are here because like YU is by himself. Bit of a dangerous position, but okay, he's going to play machine. He's going to finally just let this one go so they can actually join up together again. 577 has repositioned himself just underneath the staircase. So yeah, the plan of attack is going to be this A-pop.
577 essentially holding it solo, but he's so solid. Big cheer for BaiSha as they win themselves a 4th on the GR side, and they know that that is putting them in a great position for this map. One more round to go in this half. That was a very strange round, though, the way that was kind of like a bit stop-stuttery, you know? It was kind of like stop and start for Q9, and individuals just kind of pushing on their own, and didn't really feel like a holistic team decision necessarily as to how that round played out. Very nearly still went the way of Q9, but not going to be enough this time around. 7-7 with a jump spot into the vent does spot out his counterpart XJ, and Leah also winning a duel over on the stairs. Koi going down as well. 9 to help out. It's a double push from BaiSha. This time a bit of proactivity shown from the GR side. And they set themselves up for success. This should be a 5th now. YDSS just trying to spot that cross into lockers, and he'll see X and Y. So the info is there. He hadn't seen XJ already crossing, but that's no problem at all. Xiao can get the trade, and 577 will finish it off. BaiSha up to 5.
Yeah, that was such a, again, like on the one hand, I'm impressed to see what BaiSha was able to do on that. The fact they double player commitment at A and they just swing into stairs. But again, you just see that Q9, like they were kind of expecting they were going to get stairs for free. They didn't think that they were going to swing that. So they got timing pretty bad. Like it just, again, they looked very caught off guard, and utility in one hand, one player. The one was trying to look like he was retreating. So really, really nice here from BaiSha. Just picture perfect timing. But now a 5-4 grabbed up here for the BaiSha team. But Q9 on the defense. Now this is where it gets interesting because, like we said, the GR side is a little bit more difficult on a map like this. BaiSha showed us a masterclass on the first map, and now that's just kind of making me think like, look, there's got to be blood in the water here. These guys are going to be relentless here on the BL side.
Not a lot going on to start this round off. Smoke's up on pretty much every angle that BaiSha would want to attack. So they're happy to wait those out for the moment. That is going to mean that there's going to be sub 1 minute for BaiSha to work with when they're trying to work map control. Which is not a huge amount of time. Luckily, this is a well-drilled squad. They'll understand their fundamentals. They're very much setting themselves up for an A split right now, with Xiao watching the flank to see if there'll be a rotator around. First kill goes the way of XJ, but he is quickly brought back to heal. The A-side commitment, not quite there yet. Nine's been able to lurk quite deep in second mid. Has not found anything just yet. They're calling the cancel. They're going to go B.
Oh, no, and that's the bomb dropped.
Koi should be traded down by Xiao. Oh, he missed shot. Leah has to get that job done, but that takes his attention away from XMY. And this round is now starting to fall apart a little bit. Xiao needs to be hitting these shots, and he's just not quite connecting when it really matters. C4 is on its way to B. They are going to have to commit to this. They don't have time to go elsewhere. But Xiao's position known. Nine's not. He has now been spotted. XMY, though, dropped, and Xiao looking for the double. How does he get away with that? With 10 seconds left on the clock, he's pulled off a miracle, and now Nine can get the plan.
Yeah, that's perfect, though. That's all N9. The fact that he plays the distraction, he's just a little bit of a decoy. He's just, again, getting the warning shots off near jail, and that's what, you know, distracted Q9. They put so much attention onto that, allowing Xiao to be able to reposition the way he did. That allowed him to get behind the missile, get that 1 and 2 combination. So, honestly, like, such a big brain idea from, you know, N9, the fact that he was able to do it, but that's the thing, that this game has been quite intense in the sense that it's been back and forth a lot. Q9, they just unfortunately put the wrong focus at the wrong time.
Another timeout coming through here from Q9. They are seeing their hopes and dreams of glory at EWC starting to fade away at the hands of Xiao's sniper rifle. Should not have been a way to get away with 2 there.
Well, I mean, it's funny, too, because we're both, like, commenting, like, look, Xiao should never be missing the shots, and then all of a sudden he does that. You're like, oh, okay,
yeah.
Well, there he is.
Well, he just wasn't punished for missing those shots.
Exactly.
And, you know, you give a guy enough opportunities, one of them's going to hit.
That's true. That is very true. Team's getting closer to that trophy, as you can see. Closer and closer as we go.
Yeah, Stallions at the moment winning that race. First team into the semi-final.
I'm still in disbelief about that. Like, I mean, and not in a mean way, it's just, I just didn't think it'd go at 2-0. Like, there was always a conversation that could have happened, but surely it was going to be more grueling, but who knows?
Well, BaiSha might be there alongside them at the end of the day today. See what that semi-final is going to look like. Still got a lot of matches yet to play here at EWC CROSSFIRE, even though we are into our penultimate day. Here we go again, though, after the timeout from Q9. What have they identified? Have they identified anything? Forward hold on lockers. That's the high-low setup from them. But BaiSha haven't exactly been probing lockers too early in the round, so I don't know that they're going to fall prey to this setup.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't really seen a lot of times where teams have actually been away or able to get away with that double locker setup like that. Like, we've seen the kind of the high-low on the staircase of it, but when teams have kind of played that like very tight angle on the one side, it's. I'm trying to remember if that was the Rock game that actually was utilized nicely, but not the case here and now for round number 11. And BaiSha, once again, still just thinking about many options here. N9 does get himself into wood, so he's going to be joined here with his 2 other teammates. They might even just try to ignore the smoke. They will indeed. That's going to be YJ that gets caught here. So look at how fast. Oh, they're going to split right into this B site. This is perfect. They're going to go from the front and also the back door. Oh, this is bad. This is so bad right now.
It is indeed. Q9 are being toyed with by BaiSha. You out into jail. He has been shut down, taken to prison by Xiao. YDSS as well in there to trade back another frag. And what can you really do at this point if you're Koi?
But again, the one thing I love seeing about a team like BaiSha, like, again, just putting them back on this like high rank, is the fact that, you know, you can see the player that was in the close box instantly gets traded out. Like, BaiSha's positioning, everything, the protocols are top notch. Like, there is no gap at all in their gameplay. Like, even a player that tries to slip through a smoke, tries to be a little bit sneaky beaky, no, that's not going to happen. BaiSha has all the answers and they're able to respond to any threat, and that's something I'm loving to see, like, from the tactical aspect of this game. Just so many great, you know, positions and communications that are in place. Now putting them in a great lead. When we were talking about a 5-4 half, they've been able to take this with a steamroller.
Not too surprising though that they're having the success here on the blacklist side. Their map pick, it's a blacklist side of map. They should know what they're doing, and they do know what they're doing. It's just a team that's really locked in at the moment. They want to be in that grand final. They want to win that grand final. Claim another trophy for 9 and 577 and Xiao, who have been the core of this roster. They've done it everywhere. They've done it on every stage. They've done it at this World Championship. That's kind of the highest honor in CROSSFIRE.
Absolutely.
They'd like to add Esports World Cup to their tally, be the first team in CROSSFIRE history to win an Esports World Cup, as this is the first iteration of CROSSFIRE here.
BaiSha getting ready for potentially another bit of a 2-2 split on this, and XMY actually takes the brunt of damage on this one, so now a big swing. 577 actually does get bested, so XJ has been able to find a nice little bit of a double kill, but look at how quick they react to it. Now XMY trying his best to play this tight position, but Xiao, man, again in that kind of a position.
15 and 6, bro. In map 1, he was like 0 and 0 for 6 or 7 rounds, and now he's just popping off.
Yeah.
Just doing it with the rifle, doing it with the pistol. He's going to have to get it done with the sniper rifle. 2v1 against two of the most storied players in CROSSFIRE history in 9 and Xiao. I don't think it's going to be an easy task for him at all.
Yeah, Koi's just trying to figure out what can he work with here. That timer is very much ticked away against him, and now Zhao's just playing with his food a little bit. Is he going to actually try to stick this? Oh, it's a little bit awkward actually to get this, so he does have to kind of prop himself. Oh, he's committing to it, but and 9 save the day once again. But a valiant effort from Koi. I mean, you didn't have a lot of options that he could work with. That C4 plan was really, really interesting because you could actually see he tried to go for it the first time. I think he was actually going to try to stick it. Fell off, so he had to kind of reposition on it. So that made it a little bit more problematic for him, but BaiSha.
No mistake being made by 9. Barely a mistake being made by BaiSha in this series as a whole. 3 rounds on map 1. 4 rounds here on map 2. If it was closed out now for BaiSha, it would be probably one of the cleanest series that we've seen at EWC. Even the series which featured a 10 and 0 against Gaming Gladiators, they came back and, you know, they almost won map 2. Whereas here it's not even been close in either map. It's not so far.
No. But I mean, we talk about BaiSha as an org, like we always said, like, you know, in terms of getting like #1 placements, like whether that's like, you know, top events, you know, all the way to like A and B tier, like they're sitting at 18 first, like, right? I mean, they've always been a top 3, you know, essentially 45 times as an organization. So again, a team that is no stranger to making it to like grand finals, or no stranger to make it deep into a tournament. So, but I mean, when you talk about like all gamers, I mean, that's another story. Obviously, as a long-standing organization, but BaiSha at least revitalized that here for 2025 so far. But ooh, not the case in this round for 13. It's actually going to be Q9. They have been able to clean everything up, sweeping the floor, and now N9 by himself a 1-on-5. And I think this is This might be just him running around and just getting some extra time for a talk.
Yeah, he's a good player, but this one might be a bit too much. And not even really that much time for a chat. So Q9 breathing a sigh of relief. They will at least be able to say, hey, we can win on this second half. We can win on the GR side. But a long way to go for them.
All takes round by round.
That's true.
We did see that yesterday. At least thinking at the first round of the second half, I mean, that was, you know, we were both kind of going like, look, this is really not looking good at all. But that's the thing, if BaiSha is able to find that one kill to start things off, this makes this defense even harder. But wood control for BaiSha. Quick swim there. And Q9 have actually put a double player into radio, but then also just having it, what is that, Koi? That's going to be Koi sitting in the A site, so he's going to fully anchor this. So a nice little bit of a setup. None of the snipers trying to go for that engagement right away. A lot more respect for this round. Nade's going to get thrown. Oh, BaiSha, they're just going to go for the full exec onto this. Why not?
Yeah, back to the tried and true, straight through second mid. It's where they had success earlier on in the half. This time, made to work for it. A 1-for-1 so far. The push coming down at the stairs is important. YDSS cannot afford to be dropping that C4. He'll go back and rejoin forces with 9 to try and work together, but it's not happening for them. Or is this going to come through from the BaiSha coach as he recognizes this round is probably done? YDSS, though,
no way,
has other ideas. If he picks the pace up, goes straight to B, he could win the round. He's put it into the 1v1. He doesn't spot him. He still gets the spray through, but he does not connect the shots. 8-6. BaiSha very nearly getting the round that they wanted there. But it is a timeout from BaiSha here. And so they'll just get the opportunity to reset. You know, there's a little brief spurt of momentum that's been put in here by Q9 as they try to fight for survival at Esports World Cup.
And that's the thing about this map that I've always kind of really had a difficulty with, is the sense of, you know, that staircase where YDSS was able to get the double kill. Like, that is such a choke point, right? I mean, when you're on the GR side and you're trying to rotate through, like, you're going in a funnel. Like, you really are. Like, it's, if somebody is able to play a position like that aggressively from the BL and, like, kind of push with a rifle like an M14, like, that was a really good demonstration of that. And that round was a 1-on-3 that turned right down to the 1v1. And I love that. You just saw right here on the replay, but nonetheless, I mean, Q9, thankfully, they catch their breath on it. They get the clutch factor to get themselves still alive in this game, but I don't mind this from BaiSha. Again, at the 8th mark, they've lost a few rounds in a row now. This is where they need to kind of just reconnect a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, maybe the coach has got an idea of a strategy that they can run that will open up one of the sites. All it really takes is a nice opening piece, a nice opening 20-30 seconds to the round, and that could be the difference maker. Very experienced head there of 9. With a bit to say as well. Seems like a conversation mostly between 9 and the coach.
And that's not really surprising, because this has been more of a, you know, this isn't like a frag hungry game. This has been a very much about positioning and just tactical in the sense of like just finding the smallest opening to work with. So it's kind of nice to see that both 9 and the coach are having this conversation. The rest of the team just waiting to hear from the 2 leaders essentially of what they want to do for the game plan. But we're right back into it, folks. Not too long of a timeout on this one. 8-6 though. So a way closer affair than what I was honestly expecting. I felt like the first map was going to be this kind of a scoreline. I never thought that Subbase was going to be the point of this, but it's good to see Q9 have used that break initially to get to this point. Playing a lot more solid of a CROSSFIRE game.
Yeah, giving us the competition that we wanted. Not much changing in the approach here for BaiSha. You do have Leah in the vent. Not really an avenue that BaiSha have explored all that much on the BL side. As the time ticks away, what's the choice going to be? I mean, you have to imagine this will be an A hit with 2 players in through the vent. They'll try and take that control room position. Oh, Koi missing a shot. He's going to be really under pressure, dumping some util, dropping a flash to try to buy a bit at a time. He's in behind that smoke. He hasn't spotted anybody. Turns around. That's the C4 dropped. 577 collapsed upon by multiple members, and the drop into control room is going to have to come up with the goods, which it does. Leah finds 3, and YDSS also catches up with XJ in second mid. Now it's just Koi solo. He's been spotted out. YDSS going to take that fight alone, and he wins it.
Absolutely phenomenal work from YDSS again and again and again, man. The fact that he's able to just run around rampant like that, getting these kills, he really got them out of the most sticky situation possible. Like, I mean, that was a perfect round from Koi. Like, he was maneuvering properly, he got the right kills, he got the bomb down, but it was his teammates that just couldn't seem to pick up the slack as well. But now, Map in the series point onto the silver platter here for BaiSha, but it's a question if they can finish their meal.
Well, they're going to try and do it quickly here as 9 and 577 will go charging into the A side, but the door seems closed. The trades have to come through here thick and fast, and it hasn't quite been enough just yet to maintain any semblance of control. Xiao is all the way back in BL spawn, by the way, waiting for a rotation that's going to come through, and it's never coming. So I think if you're going to run a quicker strat like that one, Xiao has to be with the pack.
Yeah, no, I don't understand the reason for that. Like, I mean, really the only thing that I'm kind of thinking was the idea is that he maybe can catch a rotator off guard. But like you said, if you're playing this very fast, aggressive setup, like, why wouldn't you just post up on the stairs, just watch the flank that way? Like, playing so deep on the middle side, it just kind of feels like it's almost a bit of a bait. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's a smart bait to me. It feels like it's just a little bit careless, but look, I mean, BaiSha does have a little bit of room that they can try to work with here, but it was interesting to see them kind of, again, pick up the speed a bit, try to maybe, again, just see if they can catch these guys off guard, but really good reaction from Q9. Like, they all were able to hit the shots, or Koi, you know, was able to get that double opener. He's really been able to save these guys.
Yep. You know, that's kind of what worries me is that BaiSha, the round that they did win a couple of rounds ago, it actually came off the back of individual moments, right? It wasn't exactly that the strat really worked out. It kind of felt like it needed BaiSha's individuals to pop off to win that round, and that might be what it takes, and they've only got 2 more chances at that one. 7-7's got himself 1 entry, but that's not enough. The trades are really effective, really good stuff happening here for Q9 on the GR side. 9 with a very impactful kill will at least open up the A side. He's going to get a quick plan here as well. And once again, it is Xiao and 9 positioned in the post plan as a duo to try to clutch this out.
Yeah, and oh my, I was thinking N9, if he can find this double kill, I mean, that's going to be able to kind of open things up a little bit. And now, I mean, he's by himself. He has to put up the clutch. He's been able to put up some decent numbers, but that's not going to be the case at all. So Q9 will be able to push this thing all the way to a 9-8 scoreline, and they only need 1 more, and we might be going overtime.
It's definitely feeling like Q9 is the better team at the moment. That momentum has certainly shifted. BaiSha not able to find an entry anywhere. Certainly not an untraded one.
Yeah, they're trying to abuse this A site, and it's interesting because they know Koi's playing there. So I don't know if the plan is like, look, let's take out Koi, and then that might put us in a better position to win the rounds because they know Koi is the highest threat. Or they just think that's the easiest post-plan situation they can get, but it has not worked out for him. I felt like, actually, to be honest, like since we saw the BL side, it's been the B site that's been more of the weak point, I would say, for Q9, but BaiSha felt like they read something that we're maybe overlooking, but now this is a moment that they have to clean it up, or we're going to have to keep continuing on this map.
Look, a B split wouldn't have been a bad shot in this round. There was only 1 defender over there initially for Q9. BaiSha not bold enough to make that call. 5 players in through wood again.
And I mean, what we've seen before is that they like to slip through this double door right here. This is when they like to kind of go for it. I mean, do they want to put 5-7-7 as the entry point?
That is 4 smokes thrown by BaiSha for an A hit. They are really throwing everything at the wall and seeing what is going to stick. You and YJ holding it down, but Leah again, good for a double. And all of a sudden we're back into a 3-on-3. Xiao missing the shot under XJ. He's out in no man's land. YDSS needs this kill and he'll get it. C4's been dropped. Leah. He spotted Koi. That's a huge kill from the player that's only on like 1 HP. We're back into a 1-on-1. YDSS has to go scurrying for the bomb. He's got it.
It's got time.
Comes down to a 1v1 here. Post-plant, YDSS is going to be given the bomb plant. Where does YDSS go from here? He's got no idea where XMY could be. He's got to isolate one of these angles. He's just going to commit to it. This is almost the correct angle chosen, but back over toward the stairs line now, and he still, as you can tell, has absolutely no clue where XMY is coming from. I don't know that XMY has spotted him out, though. Here comes the swing. YDSS to try to win the game right here for BaiSha as XMY holds strong for Q9, and we will go overtime.
Well, they've done it. Q9 have been able to push this all the way the distance of overtime and right down to the 1v1 to get there. And you definitely got to tip the hat here. This defense from Q9, it's really just been the clutch factor. They've been able to find some abilities to get themselves these rounds to push it all the way to the 9-9 scoreline. And BaiSha not really showcasing the ability of the BL side that we were kind of mentioning and saying that they can bring to this, but Q9 have done their homework. They've been able to find the ability to push it to the distance of this, but now things are going to be switched over. BaiSha back onto the defense, and now we see Q9 once again onto the BL.
Yeah, neither team really too eager to get involved in these rounds early. Feel how tense it is at the moment. BaiSha sensing that Q9 are really making a comeback. And that could mean Compound up next. BaiSha's going to go through from YJ. Leah, not too concerned about that one, but Solo holding A with the TRG is going to mean that, you know, he's a one and done. Like, he gets one kill and then he's out of there. Ideally, he gets a kill. If he misses the shot, A-side's doomed. Nicely timed smoke. We'll keep Q9 at bay for the moment. There's a smoke up in second mid as well, and a grenade to soften the targets a little bit. Bit of damage done to Koi and YJ. Q9 definitely setting themselves up for an A take. So it is lucky for BaiSha that they've got 3 players over here. 577 up in the window, going to have to do some real work, and he does. He gets rid of YJ. Koi not too eager to continue the push without the opening frag, and now it's on to Leah that will turn our attention. He gets himself one. Continues to lock down the position. That sniper rifle being put to good work. That's a solid hold from BaiSha.
Beautiful.
And much more comfortable here on the GR side.
It really is, yeah. I mean, this is kind of what we saw, right? I mean, it was the first half of a 5-4 that was in favor for BaiSha, but we saw, again, everything just lines up nicely. Crossing the T's, dotting the I's, they're able to get themselves that first round and really just dismantle that aggression that we see here from Q9. And that's the thing, is we saw there was a bit of a lead that happened at one point in the first half, and then a kind of a slow comeback. But now, like you said, BaiSha realizing, okay, look, there's a lot more at stake on this. And they need to figure out a way to end this whack-a-mole game. Q9 going to take their time on this one a little bit. The 1-3-1 setup here from BaiSha. And there's a bit of a distraction here from XJ, just trying to see if he can find a quick little bit of a tenderizing kill or maybe something. Zhao just barely missing him. My goodness. This is a really nice setup from the defense, actually.
Very, very patient rounds from both teams on the blacklist side thus far in Subbase. And it's kind of, again, following that same formula. Q9 working their way into wood, going to set themselves up again for an A take here. Got XJ in the vent. So, be 1 or 2 players in through second mid, 1 through vent, couple down the stairs. Leah, again, going to be tested, and he answers the call nicely as he does finish off you, surviving for a moment longer, and 577. Well, unable to get anything done from up in the window, but was enough of a distraction, and Leah is holding on to the C4. Sharp shot connected onto YJ. He has been an absolute rock on this A site. Xiao will finish off the final kill. 2-0 in OT here for BaiSha.
Yeah, and they're getting loud too. You can hear them. Rightfully so. Maybe that's what they need. They just need, again, getting the flame a little bit more ignited on this. They need to just find a way to push themselves over the edge to getting this thing done. But it ain't done yet. This is where Q9 have shown to us here in the beginning that they have been able to have that comeback factor, but really this BaiSha defense, it really does feel like the wall is now being put in place. Like they have completed it, and there's not a lot of leaks or not a lot of holes in it. They've made it look very, very convincing, to say the least. But the same setup once again from BaiSha. They have the one player at A, the double mid, double B. That seems to be the easy one because, again, like as soon as there's any action from Leah, it's a quick, easy rotate. Those double players that are close into radio, it's easy for them to just be able to support their teammate. So that A exec makes it even more difficult.
Nice start for Shao. Remember how dangerous he was in this first half when he was on GR side. With the TRG in hand.
Yeah, 18 and 13 right now.
A pretty good across the board performance actually from both teams. Really got everybody online.
Oh, it's going to be a B head here. Okay.
I think it's the right choice from Q9. They're not getting into A.
And this setup from YDSS is perfect. Perfect weapon for it, perfect angle.
Need some backup maybe. Shao needs to have a look. YDSS, good for one, but what's Shao going to be able to do? Let's have N9 here on the line as well. YJ making his way up. And Shao is waiting for, but now that 9 has gone down, there's a player behind, and Shao in all sorts of trouble. Com comes through too late. Shao can't do anything about it. 577, able to pull one back, and the grenade here will land on the head of YJ. Luckily, XMY is back in locker, otherwise that grenade would have finished him off. So it's a 2-on-2. And everything slows down again for a moment as I should just wait this smoke out.
I'm kind of worried this might be a little bit obvious, but okay, XMY, he went to that swing. I don't know if that was really necessary, to be honest. I know he's trying to get that intel, but now YJ has to put up some clutch pants, and nah, they don't fit. It's going to be BaiSha once again, a flawless here on the first part of the overtime.
Yeah, 3-0 in the OT, and I mean, if BaiSha didn't have the opportunity to close it out before, they do now. Shao, I don't know what he's even doing there. He's touching the monitor. He just must be saying, like, one more round, guys. Come on. Touch the magic monitor for good luck.
Yeah. Everybody's always got their little gimmicks they like to do. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's the thing you do in overtime. I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe Wendy can ask him about that.
I was just going to say that. That's so funny. I was thinking Wendy could be the one to ask that, maybe.
Although, if it's BaiSha that win, they'll do the stage interview, actually. Wendy does the loser interview. So, yeah, maybe Adam or Sandstorm can ask that question. We'll see. Either way, BaiSha need to get there first. And it's not a victory yet.
Jay playing the Pixel. Nice reposition. Oh, he's going to swing this. Oh, he is. Oh, it's a labored spray, but it works. Oh, this is just messy. This is just back and forth we go. A bit of a ping pong on this one, and now 577 needs 3.
He's going to need a grenade or 2 for his trouble, and that's not going to happen. So 12-10 is now the score as Q9 try to cling on, which is really what they've been doing throughout this entire map. They've been holding on for dear hope. They've got to get through 4 rounds in a row here, so that's the first of them. Of course, if we go to 12-12, we'll go to Golden Point. Just remember, BaiSha really was struggling to close it out on their BL side before.
Yeah, it has actually been the weaker point on this one.
Maybe the case again.
2 chances.
Well, technically 3.
Oh, yeah, true. You're right. So smart. Who's going to be smart this round, though? 3-2 setup here from BaiSha. Look at the defense, though, from Q9. This is very interesting. You have all 4 players, a little bit of a caterpillar, bit of a setup on the mini-map. They finally let that one go a little bit. One is blossomed? No. What's the word I want?
I don't think caterpillars blossom.
What's the thing that happens when they... What am I trying to say? I don't know.
Go in their cocoon and they turn into a butterfly.
Yeah, cocoon. But what's it called out of the cocoon? Production saying hatch, but no, I think hatch is an egg. The word, yeah, there's a word for when they come out of the cocoon. It's gonna drive me crazy.
Metamorphosized?
Maybe I don't remember.
Is that it? I don't know.
It's been a long day. Apparently, I can't remember anything now. So this is a problem. But, you know, look, more problems arise here for BaiSha as 577 is going to go down quick and easy. Now Koi, a problem. Looking for more. He's hungry. Oh, and he realizes, okay, hang
Metamorphosis.
on. Oh, you got a big brain.
Yeah.
You are smart. Oh boy. Brains back and forth. Talking about butterflies, stinging like bees, whatever's happening here. It's a 3-3, and now it's still up for grabs for both these teams. And YJ, surprisingly, with a nice little bit of a bunny hop shot, does take down YDSS.
Well, once again, Nine and Chow in a clutch. They've won a couple, they've lost a couple. Can they win one more to close it out here for BaiSha? As XJ's head is spotted by Nine. He's playing a game of whack-a-mole back and forth with him. XMY now coming down the stairs. We'll put it onto just Xiao solo, and that's too much to ask. So we are going one more. BaiSha, fortunately for them, are not able to metamorphosize into victors.
Not yet. No, maybe still in the cocoon. I don't know.
Maybe the cocoon's getting stamped on by Q9 right now, and they're never going to turn into that butterfly.
That might be true. That might be true.
1 or 2 more rounds to go in this map. It'll be 1 if BaiSha win here, 2 if Q9 win this. Then we'll go to Golden Point. And another patient approach out of both teams. X and Y holding perhaps one of the tightest lines you can. Leah doing the same. Both teams just hoping that their opponent is going to give them an opening pick, but as we've seen throughout this game so far, that is just not going to happen. Neither team willing to be the one to take the early fight. Inevitably, BaiSha is going to be forced into it. It does look like they're setting themselves up again for this same take that we've seen time and time again. The smokes go down. This time it's 3 instead of 4. They don't actually have the smoke deep in second mid in toward jail. They're going to take that fight to you. And it comes through a little bit later. 577's found the opener. That's big for BaiSha as they're going to try to collapse in onto the A bomb site, but there's a couple of players down there. 577 has found YJ. There's an advantage, a massive one now for BaiSha in the 4-on-2. XMY and you are both locked out of control room. They'll try and make it happen, but it's going to be impossible against a crossfire like that one. 13-11, and BaiSha will secure the win. They will knock Q9 out of competition here at the Esports World Cup. They will join Stallions in the semi-final as the second team out of the quarters.
Couldn't have said it better myself here, Elfish. And now, like you said, the top team in Brazil has been eliminated. Now we get to see Q9, the first Chinese team to take a defeat. And now they are the second team that is going to be out of EWC. So another key crushing will be done a little bit later. BaiSha have really just been the Grim Reaper that way, right? I mean, they've been the ones that have been just crushing keys left, right, and center. So they're just kind of adding more to the trophy case a little bit here.
Yeah, wow, that was a marathon of a map, almost going all the way to the Golden Point, but BaiSha proved to be just a little bit too strong once again. And I imagine that is a BaiSha that, you know, now that they're going to be able to focus in on a match against Stallions, are going to be feeling pretty good about the proceedings so far. Obviously, they'll be expecting to make it through to